and welcome back. My name is Aditi. In the previous section, we learned about the pivot tables and pivot charts. And now in this section, we're going to learn about the dashboards in Excel. But before that, let's first understand what is data visualization and why is it used. Data visualization is a graphical representation of information and data. Data visualization tools provide an accessible way to understand trends, outliers, and patterns in data. It involves producing images that communicate relationships among the represented data to viewers of the images. It makes small and big data easier for the human brain to understand. Apart from basic data analysis functions in Excel, it has surprisingly a number of data visualization tools under the hood. We can visualize our data in Excel using the bar charts, pie charts, and many other, and can even make dashboards. So data visualization can easily make us understand the relationship between different variables. Data is much more valuable when it is visualized. We need to make the data visualization in such a way that the viewers can easily connect with it. A good data visualization shows connections within the data that are too complex to explain with words and make it easier for the audience to quickly understand the information presented and consider the outcomes from the data. So now that we know what is data visualization and why is it important, we would move on to making some charts in Excel and taking out insights from the data presented visually. And now in this lecture, we are going to learn about making some basic charts in Excel. So let's begin. We have a pie chart, column chart, bar chart, etc. in the Insert tab. We can choose any chart of our choice from here. Let's say we want to make a bar graph and say we want to know the total sales per region. For that, first we can simply make a pivot table. Select the data and click on the pivot table. And this time, let's make a pivot table in the new worksheet. Now we drag region in the row labels and sales in the portion of the value. This creates a pivot table. Now we can select the pivot table and then in the insert pane, we go to column chart and select an option of our own choice. This has created a column chart for total sales per region. We can change the size of the graph. We can make it smaller. We can even change the title of the chart to total sales per region and can delete these lines between the charts. And at last, we can name this sheet as Sales per Region. Next, let's try creating a bar graph. Let's say we want to know the total profit made region-wise. For that again, we can make a pivot table. Select the data and go to the pivot table option and create a pivot table in the worksheet. Then we drag the region field to row labels and profit fields to values. We can directly create a bar chart by clicking on the pivot chart option. And this creates a bar chart for the total profit made region-wise, and we can clearly observe from the bar chart that we actually had a loss in the central region. Now let's try line chart as well. I've already created a pivot table for this where we are trying to find out the total sales per subcategories. So we would select the data and go to Insert tab where we select the line chart option and create a line chart for this. Then we change the title for this line chart and a beautiful line chart is created. And now we can easily take out some insights from this line chart. So visualizing data with different charts is quite easy in Excel. If we have more data with number of columns and entries, We can make more interesting and exciting charts which would look attractive and which would communicate more about the data. And here comes an end to this lecture, where we learned about making some basic charts in Excel. And now in this lecture, we're going to learn how to make dashboards in Excel. So let's begin. A data dashboard is an information management tool that visually tracks, analyzes, and displays key information indicator. Or in simple words, a dashboard tells us a story about the data and processes data to identify trends. In the previous lecture, we created some beautiful charts. And now with those charts, we would create a dashboard. So first, we just create a new worksheet. We can name the worksheet as dashboard. And after that, we can copy a chart to the new dashboard worksheet. Let's say we copy the line chart, so we can right-click on the chart and click Copy and Paste in the dashboard sheet. We can adjust the chart location and then we can select the entire worksheet and can fill the color of our choice. Similarly, we can copy the other charts as well. We can add as many charts as possible in the dashboard, but make sure that you do not add many charts in it, because adding less appropriate charts in our dashboard makes it more attractive and informative. I have made an additional chart which shows the top 5 profitable subcategories. Let's add this chart as well in the dashboard and we would get our first dashboard in Excel. So this is how we create a dashboard in Excel. And here comes an end to this lecture, where we learned about creating dashboards. And now in this lecture, we are going to learn about adding slicers in it to make it more interactive and user-friendly. So let's begin. We have already created a dashboard in our previous lecture. And now we would add slicers in it. Slicers are used to filter charts. Slicer displays a set of buttons on which we can quickly click to filter the data presented to us. For adding slicers, we have very simple steps. First, go to the Analyze pane and there we get the option of Insert Slicer. Clicking on it, we get a box which asks us to choose a field on which we want to add a filter. We select a field and click OK. Now this adds the slicer for the selected field. We can select a particular option for the filtered field and then we can change the data presented in the dashboard. We can also add more than one slicer in our dashboard. Let's add one slicer in our dashboard now. We again go to Analyze pane and click on Insert Slicer and select a field and click OK. This adds new slicer in the dashboard. Now let's connect the two slicers added. Just click right on a slicer and click Report Connections and then click all the pivot tables that we want to link with the slicer. Similarly, we right on the other slicer and click on Report Connections. After that, click all the pivot tables that we want to link with the slicer. Now the slicers and the pivot charts are linked. So this is how we add slicers in our dashboards and can make the dashboards more interactive. And here comes an end to this lecture. And now in this lecture, we're going to learn about formatting the dashboard. So let's begin. We have already added the slicers in our dashboard. And now we can do some kind of formatting in our data to make it more attractive to the users. The first thing is we can add a background color to the charts to make it more beautiful. Just right-click on a chart and go to Format Chart area. There we have many options. We can fill the color in the background by choosing the color of our choice. We can even go to more color options and select any color of our choice. Then we can also go to border color and choose no line, solid line or any option as per our choice. We have some more options in the format chart area. We can use them as well. We can do the same with all other charts in the dashboard. We can do a lot more things with our dashboards to make it more informative and attractive. Basically, we can play around with colors for making a very beautiful dashboard. So with dashboards, we can tell a story about the data in a very beautiful way. And with this, we come to an end of this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to learn about one of the important topics in Excel. Till then, keep enjoying.